my love for you. If you meet somebody else that's a rival, that much is true. Yeah, I know you said, baby, this is final, and I blame myself. All that's left of me now is an animal, and I cry for help. I wish my call's gonna reach you. Give it my all, 'cause I need you. Oh, let it go, let it go, let it go, till I get you alone. I can't help but howl like a wolf, howl like a wolf. I wish my call's gonna reach you. Give it my all, 'cause I need you. I will howl like a wolf, baby, I will howl like a wolf. When the sun fades, when the night awaits, I'll be howling and howling and howling for you, babe.
Okay, so squats are done. Welcome back to another video. It is week 1 of a little 4-week block, and then I have 2 5-week blocks left until comp. So I am going to class this as the start of my prep series for English Nationals, because I have also officially entered, although the entry was a little bit weird. So I paid to enter, but I haven't had a form or anything to fill out, which we're supposed to be getting a form to put our qualifying totals and comp that we did it at. But I haven't received that. But I also don't know if they're just going to check everyone's names on Open Powerlifting. Who knows? But I'm not too concerned. Like, I have way over the qualifying total for this. It doesn't really matter. And the person hosting it, I think, knows that I have way over that. So I guess we'll see. But I've officially paid. I have a confirmation email that I have made the payment for the English Nationals, which I think is the weekend of the 15th, 16th of June. I think that's the weekend. It is classic and equipped, so I don't know how they're going to split up the weekend. There's no information about that out there yet. Kind of hoping that they'll just do the heavier women on the Sunday afternoon, because it's 2 hours from me, so that means I could avoid getting a hotel potentially. And if I am over and I've done a cut, then I have hours to kind of get back down. But we'll see. No point planning for that until I know the actual dates. And that won't be until like 5 weeks out, I don't think, when entries close. So yes, I've officially entered, and this is the start of prep. That's why the singlet is out, although I'm a bit annoyed. I got some cheap t-shirts to wear underneath my singlet, because I've actually only got one like comp tee that I like to wear. And I'm going to be training in my singlet from now until comp on these main days, so I needed some more t-shirts. But they're not quite black, and that sounds like a really stupid thing to get annoyed by, but they're like different shades of black, and that upsets me. But it's very minor, so I don't really care. But yeah, so this block is a 4-week block, and I'm going to use it as a little bit of a way, like a little bit of a deload, but I am still aiming for PBs on week 4, but only slight, like 2.5 PBs this time. Well, with squats I am anyway. I'm aiming for a deadlift PB at the end, but I guess we'll just sort of see how things go. But in order to help me bring fatigue right back and stuff after like the last 6 blocks of pushing, and especially last block of pushing, I am starting this block a lot lighter than normal, and I'm going to take slightly bigger jumps each week on everything, so we'll see how that goes, and if it goes well, then I'll just do that until comp for the next 2 blocks as well. But yeah, don't really have anything else to say. Squats were obviously really light. 130 for 7 for me is just nothing, and then back offs at 120 were also nothing. I got all 4 of my main sets and my top set and my 3 back off sets done in like 10 minutes, which is great. Yeah, I'm training later than I wanted to, so I've rearranged my Wednesdays so that I can train like middle of the afternoon, start like 2-3ish. Didn't start until 7 because I'm me, although I have to do a food shop, which is actually why I got here later than planned, but it's fine. But from now on I won't be training late, and also because this is a very light session, I knew it wouldn't take me long. So I'm going to stop talking and bench.
Can't keep my pain quiet any longer. Gotta let it out. Are you anywhere near? So I wonder, can you hear me now? I know it ain't over till it's over, 'cause I'm still alive. If only you'd come a bit closer, maybe I'll survive. I wish my call's gonna reach you. Give it my all, 'cause I need you. Oh, let it go, let it go, let it go till I get.
Okay, so bench is done. Full confession here, I did have a mini strop during my second set of back downs. I got 2 reps into the set and I was slipping all over the place, so I threw a strop, stopped the set, took my t-shirt off and pulled my singlet down, so I was just in my sports bra, and benched like that for the rest of the session. So one of the main reasons I like to train in my singlet 3 to 4 blocks out from comp is because it gets me used to benching in a singlet and not, because obviously when you're in just a sports bra, which is what I've been benching in for this entire off season, you stick to the bench. You don't go anywhere, and my positioning is solid. Well, pretty solid. And then you put a singlet on, and obviously there's more material, and you slip a little bit more. Now, the Eleiko comp benches are pretty sticky, from what I can remember, and they're obviously designed to be like that. They've got the little pad, and I'm assuming that's what we're going to be using in the next comp. But normally my bench at home is somewhat sticky, and it's fine in a singlet, but it wasn't today. My 97.5 top single felt terrible. It moved fine, because it's 97.5, it should. But it felt awful. My positioning was completely off. I felt like I had no leg drive, because if I pushed through my legs, I'd slip on my upper body. My upper body just didn't feel stable, and then same thing happened with my first set of back offs at 90. I did 90 for 7, and it just felt really unstable. Then I went to do another set, thinking it would get better every single set, and I'd get used to it over the next few sessions. And 2 reps in, I just had enough. It felt way harder than it should. And also the other thing that's a little bit annoying for me at the minute is I have got quite a lot of pain in my elbows, which I think is just left over from Saturday's heavy squats and bench. And then also on Monday, I had my accessory day, and I was exhausted Monday. Like, after the weekend reffing, I didn't have much sleep over the weekend. I had really long days both days, and then Monday I was up, and I was up early, and I was working all day, and I was exhausted by the evening when I had to go to the gym, to the point where I really considered not going, but I was like, I have to go. I'm not strong enough. I need to go. I need to get it done. And then I got there, and I ended up going absolutely crazy on my accessories, and way heavier than I normally would, which was fun, and I'm glad I did, and I actually really enjoyed it once I was started and once I was there. But my elbows were a bit tender then anyway. I think it's just from literally just from gripping the bar. Like, I'm quite an elbows forward squatter, and then benching quite heavy. It's just a bit of wear and tear. Like, it's nothing, I'm not injured, it's just a bit tender. And then my heavy accessories on Monday definitely didn't help. So that's also a bit frustrating. So when I was benching and my positioning was off, it made that even more annoying and even more irritated. So I gave up, and I took my t-shirt off, pulled my singlet down, and benched in my sports bra. I think next Saturday I should be going to a gym that has comp kit with an Eleiko bench or multiple Eleiko benches. So I'm hoping that I'll be able to get on one of those and try it in my singlet, and hopefully I'll be able to maintain position better. And I also think setting up on a combo, it's easier to get in a good position than it is on this rack. So hopefully I'll be okay. If not, we'll figure it out. So yeah, bench was fine. It was light, it was comfortable. It was just annoying until I put my top down, basically. That's all I've got to say. I'm gonna crack on with deadlifts now. Just got 3x3 at 147 is the plan. It should be very nice and easy, get done quickly. And then I will chat to you after, give you a bit of a recap of kind of what the plan is for this block. And yeah, that's kind of it. Only other update I've probably got that I should mention is my body weight has finally dropped. Now that I've had a few days of normal routine. Bear in mind, I still haven't been sleeping amazingly, but I've been sleeping better the last couple of nights. I've finally seen an 87. I was 87.8 this morning. I'm hoping to see another little drop tomorrow. Definitely the weekend, I think I'll see a bit of a drop, because I'll actually be able to sleep this weekend and get like a good night's sleep on Friday night. Hopefully we'll see mid 87s on Saturday, but I'm not going to get my hopes up, because the last few weeks I have shot up a little bit at the weekends, but no, I think that's because the last 2 weekends I haven't been sleeping on a Friday night. So yeah, rambling, gonna deadlift, get it done, and get home in good time and in bed by 10 for once, hopefully.
You alone, I can't help but howl like a wolf, howl like a wolf. I wish my car's gonna.
Okay, so I'm home. Deadlifts were absolutely fine. It's just 3x3 at 147, so super light. Everything felt good. Yeah, nothing else to really say. Like, the session itself went really well. One thing I forgot to mention earlier, so I was saying about how my elbows are a bit tender right now. They don't feel any worse after that session, to be fair, which is good. But I didn't mention my wrists. So I do have quite bad wrists, to be fair. I remember I went to the doctor that years ago, and they thought it was like early signs of carpal tunnel, but it comes and goes, and I'm ignoring it. And yeah, it comes and goes, but I don't know why. I think it was from my accessory day on Monday. I did really push dumbbell chest press, which might have potentially irritated them slightly. And the only other thing I can think of is dips, but then it was a little bit sore going into the session. But my left wrist in particular is very, very sore and tender, and it kind of feels like it just needs to be yanked and like cracked into place. I'm not going to do that because it definitely doesn't need that. But that's just the only way I can think to describe it. But yeah, it's quite uncomfortable. And so when I deadlifted, normally I grip it just in like my 3 fingers, but I couldn't do that with my left hand because my left wrist is the one that's worst. And yeah, I had to grip it my full hand just to take a little bit of pressure off my wrist. But I'm not concerned. Like, I think it's just going to settle down over the next few days, hopefully. I need to make sure I take my wrist wraps for my accessory day tomorrow, because I have close grip bench and I've got a really bad habit of not taking them with me because I can't bother to carry them in there, because I never take a bag for that session. But I'm going to make sure I do, because I don't think I'll actually be able to bench without them. But yeah, overall it was a really good session. One thing I said I was going to talk through, so someone commented on my last video asking about kind of like, sorry, my arm's going dead, asking what the plan was for deadlifts and getting them ready for a peak, because I mentioned in the last video that my training now going into comp prep isn't really going to change much because it's been working so well. My squat and bench singles have been trending upwards, and basically I think I'm on track to hit the numbers that I really wanted to hit at this comp. I'm not chasing numbers, let's just clarify. I've got quite realistic goals, but I'm also just going to take what's there on the day. So I might not hit these numbers, but it's just a ballpark idea. But yeah, training has been going incredibly well. I've been PBing every single block. I'm learning what works for bench. Bench is the one that's a little bit more hit and miss at the end of each block, but I've been hitting 115 as a minimum at the end of each block, so I'm not mad about that. I just need to make it more consistent, get more comfortable and more confident with 115, and then make that routine, and then hopefully 120 will kind of follow. I'm rambling. So yeah, basically someone asked what the plan was for deadlifts now, because obviously my deadlifts need a bit of a peak. I've spent the last few blocks kind of rehabbing my back and getting my deadlift volume back up to a tolerable level, or getting my body up to a point where it can tolerate some volume on deadlift. So I considered putting singles back in, but essentially I'm scared that I'm going to peak too early with deadlifts. So I've made the decision to just continue basically what I've been doing. So the goal for this block is, it's only a 4-week block. So the jumps will be slightly bigger week on week, like I mentioned earlier, but I would like to end the block with 3x3 at 170 on deadlift. And then that will set me up nicely, providing everything goes fine and it moves okay, to potentially do 3x4 at the end of next block, my next 5-week block. And then it will be comp block. And I will bring singles back in on that last block into comp, basically. So I'm kind of just going with the fact of I'm just going to keep building up my base for deadlifts with relative intensity, but not anything crazy, just to ensure that I don't kind of get ahead of myself. And I also thought about putting singles in next block, so 2 blocks out, and just getting an idea of where my strength is at. But I don't want to, like, I'm quite limited with how many heavy pulls I have, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. And I don't want to peak too soon. So kind of winging it with deadlift and hoping that it plays off at comp, but I guess we're going to see. So yeah, not really changing my structure for deadlift this block or next block, but I will be changing it on that final block into comp and actually introducing singles just to get accustomed to slightly heavier load. But deadlifts are the one that on the day I'm not going to really know what my top end is, but I'm just going to take what's there. My current PB is 190, which I've hit in training, and that is 7.5 above my current comp max. So even if I just hit that in comp, like, I'll be pretty happy, but obviously I would like to, you know, maybe hit a number that starts with a 2. But we'll see. So yeah, that is kind of the plan. I don't think I've explained that very well. But essentially, deadlifts, I'm not changing the plan on any of the lifts at the moment. I'm just kind of going and just continuing to follow I'm just going to continue to follow the momentum and just keep going because it's been working so well. And yeah, just going to see how things play out. Like, I don't want to make massive changes into my training. If things have been going well, I'm just going to keep riding that wave. And then at some point, I'm sure I'm going to have to change up what I'm doing because it's going to stop working, or I'm going to need to make adjustments. So for now, just going to keep going as we are. It is a bit boring doing the same stuff over and over again, but at the same time, it's completely worth it to hit those PBs at the end of each block. So yeah, I'm going to just wrap this video up here. If you do have any questions for me, please leave them below in the comments, or, you know, if you've enjoyed the video, please let me know. Please leave a like, subscribe, all of that, and I will see you on Monday for the next one.